Sorry, I'm not sure how to get rid of that clicking sound, but just have to put up with it, I guess. Might be the software camera I'm using. It's not Logitech software. I've got a Logitech webcam. I'd love to show you, but I move the webcam and you can't see it, so it doesn't work. But it's supposed to be a good one. It's a business one. It's a 1080p, like it's a HD one, but yeah, for some reason it's incompatible with Windows and it's built for it, so strange. Anyway, I just wanted to explain or elaborate on my light theory, that light's all around us and that it only moves slightly. It's sort of it moves from energy, and you can't really explain it with mathematics, light itself. I'll elaborate what I mean. So I might need a pen and paper. Here's all my technical stuff I'm working on. So blah 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 blah. Nah, it's not, nothing to do with it. But a clean page. So yeah, I'm sort of saying light's been around so long that it's actually an element in a way. It's not an element, but it's like an element. It's there all the time, you know. It's just energy reacts with it, and that's what gives us a feeling that light's moving, or the light's coming from a source to a destination. But rather it's interacting with energy, similar to the way that sound reacts on a wavelength, you know, because sound itself, sound is similar in a way, I suppose, but sound does move. Like, how do I put it? Imagine, we'll use the jet aircraft definition because it's loud, you know. So say you got point A and point B. This one here, we'll start this side. This one here is where the jet aircraft is going that way, right? So it's taking off. It's all reversed. It's annoying. So the jet aircraft is taking off, flying across this way. Hang on. It's so strange, it's backwards. So it's going this way. So sound is coming out the back of there. And so it's come out from here and it's going this way, sound, to this point here. So imagine that the world itself has properties, like the Earth has properties which carry that sound wavelength. Without those properties, you can't really have a wavelength. There's no sound. Like in space, there's a bit of sound. There's a little bit of properties. There's not much. So you might hear a little whirring, or a bit of squealing, or a bit of slight bit of echo, or a bit of a boom sort of sound every now and then. But it's not like Earth, where it's very viscousy. It's very thick with atmosphere, and you've got a lot of properties which can carry a wavelength. So energy is what the wavelength reacts to. Yeah, it's hard to explain straight off the bat, because we're so used to these ideas that are stuck in our brain, that sound is actually a wavelength, and that light is a particle or a wave. So So, we have these ideas in our head of this sort of thing. Sound's a wavelength and light is a particle or a wave. That, I suppose you can use that example above me here, where the light's trickling in up here, sort of shining down. That light up here is almost stationary. It's just doing this. It's just going like this. It's just doing that, the light. That's how fast it's moving. But you've got to take into account too the energy that's moving that. The energy it takes to move that bit of light is quite excessive. It'll be sort of in the range of 1/millionth of the energy that the light is actually composed of. So it'd be something like 1,000,000 to 1. So it takes 1,000,000 amounts of energy to move that one bit of light. So light's quite a heavy, quite a dense, quite a strong thing. It's quite powerful. Reacts to gravity, reacts to dark matter. Light reacts to energy, which is basically the rest. It doesn't really react with sound. The two don't mix. So that's why we think sound and light are separate. But we think that light and energy is the same thing, which isn't true. It's not particularly true. I mean, light itself is sort of, you would think is an energy, but it's not really. It's light's just light. It's kind of a spectrum of frequencies, but not wavelengths. It's light's like it appears as a wavelength to us, but light itself is there's no word for it I can think of. How can I explain it? So to us, we're composed of, human beings are composed of matter. We have a spirit. We're composed of sound. We have sound in our being, that we produce noise. And we have consciousness, which isn't light, but it does not react with light, but it does enjoy light. So, say for example, you wanted to see an object a million light years away, based on the old understanding that light travels takes 1,000,000 years for light to travel, from that planet to here. Say he wants to see somewhere 1,000,000 light years away. The light exists there and it exists here almost at the same time. It's almost instantaneous. It's a slight. It takes a slight second of, a slight few seconds just to come from there to here. It's almost like it's already there and it's already here, but it sort of just takes a little bit. And that's what sort of gives us a sense of time. Time is a sort of a product of movement. So the movement it takes for light to move a certain distance, say you're seeing my hand here to here, it takes such a slight moment for that to happen that we feel like we're moving through time. So if light didn't take any time to go anywhere, we would feel like everything was just motionless. So light itself, the movement of light, which surrounds us and almost passes through us and goes in our eyes and our mouth and everywhere, bounces, sort of constructing things. It's almost a creative energy, really. Light. It's part of a creative sort of energy which helps create the world. And I suppose that's how I'd describe it: a creative sort of energy, light, sort of the holy light, we call it. And our brains actually emit light. Our brains can emit light like a halo. Our brains can give off light, can produce light, the processes in our brain. So if you can be open to that concept, you can see it. So that's where people get the idea of halos and things like that. So going back to the movement of time and space and all this sort of thing, energy takes quite a while to travel through space. So energy minus the speed of light is how long it takes for an image from a million light years away to get to us. So light's moving a little bit, plus that energy, which is the amount of energy is a million times the amount of light it takes to push that bit of light or move that bit of light just that far, because light's so thick and heavy and strong. Light's impenetrable, really. It's immortal, it's creative, and it keeps reproducing light. It's like it's growing all the time. So light moves but also grows. So there's two processes there. I suppose in black holes it also diminishes and probably gets destroyed in black holes. So the illusion that light's coming from another planet to here is just that amount of energy it's taken to push that light to here is so excessive that it sort of feels like that the light's travelling that far, but really it's the energy pushing that light or moving it or creating the energy being consumed by that light to bring that image to where we are here is quite phenomenal, really. So because light's being created all the time and it's growing and it's almost a random thing. There's no mathematical equation that can actually define it, because it's beyond mathematics. Light itself, you try and explain it, and you're sort of the fish trying to explain what it's like on land when it's only known the ocean. It's we've only known the world as energy, as people, because we're not composed of light itself. We produce it, but we're not. We're energy and matter. Our soul is different as well. We can produce light through our brain. Different spectrums of light through different experiences we have. When we're in love, we might have a beautiful colour. When we're in fear, when we're in different states of mind, we can have different coloured lights from our mind, from our brain. Some people can see it, some people aren't open to it, they're not aware of it, so you have to have a similar light to see another light. So excuse me. But our soul's not really light. Our soul comes from a very I don't know, dark is the right word, but obscure place, so it doesn't have those concepts, our soul, of light and all that sort of stuff. It's more a vacuumous sort of cloud, our soul. It's sort of a wispy sort of mine's evolved into more of a Superman, but a superpower, my soul, but which you can do through it's almost like becoming an alchemist, you know, folding the tanglements of your soul into, sort of gilding it into something, you know, through experiences. It takes a lot of hard work to do it, but that's why Superman's kind of an immortal being, but also a worker. He works for the world, and that's what he knows, is hard work, I suppose. So that might be what I'm looking forward to in the future at some point. I'm not saying his whole life's hard work, but that's what he decides to be, is a worker and help people, and other people aren't. They're sort of lazy and they sit around and they just die and go back to their ghost and move on. But Superman wants to be immortal and live forever, and keep creating, producing, you know. But yeah, going back to sound too. Sound's a funny thing too, because sound in a way is nothing like light. It's completely different. But we have this idea that sound's a wavelength which comes from our body and goes to somewhere else. But sound is sort of is an ability to use energy to fluctuate certain matter into different frequencies so we can transmit a sound. So sound's not actually a thing either. Sound is actually not really real. We just think in our brain it is, because we can sort of understand this fluctuation with our brain. But yeah, it's a funny thing. Sound. It's we see it as a wave doing this, but it's not really. What's a wave anyway? You know, it's just our construct in a machine of what we think sound looks like, but it's not even a wave. Yeah, it's just how mathematics explain. You can't really explain sound with waves either, with maths either, because it's similar to light, but it's sort of different. So really, you can explain maths with energy. You can explain energy with mathematics, but not sound or light. It's a phenomenon. You can sort of come up with ideas, but they're always a little bit wrong. You know, not quite right. That's why we come up with mistakes and errors and things. You know, because it's not quite right mathematics to explain light or sound. There's other factors too. You can't really explain sound, light, and what's the other one? I've got dark matter on the brain. It's not that. You can explain dark matter with maths. It's matter. It's energy. You can't explain the soul or the spirit of mathematics because it's devoid of matter. It's another realm. So, but that's irrelevant. There was another one I was trying to think of. There's three things you can't really explain with mathematics: sound, light, and I can't think of it. It's gone from my brain. I was thinking of it earlier. Maybe it doesn't want to be known. I'll think of it. I'll try. I'll keep trying. Sound, light. Not thought. I think you can explain thought with mathematics. Just had it. Electricity. You explain that. Don't think it's a human quality. I think it's. Love. That's what it is. Love. Yeah, you can't explain love with mathematics either. It's Love something which is a mystery, so is light and sound. It's a mystery to us. We're not meant to work it out. So all the things that we can try and work out with our brain, those three things you can't really figure out. Your brain will twist into a knot trying to work them out, what they actually are. It's a bit like life itself, why we're here and all that. You can twist your brain into a knot trying to figure those out. But the answers really to why we're here are in sound, light and love, but they're a mystery. So they're meant to remain that way. So anyway, it's 20 minutes. Hope you enjoyed that. And don't twist your mind in too much of a knot. just accept sound, light and love. And there are three things which we adore in life, is to see and sound and hear and to love. And those people who can't experience those things, well, we wish you all the best and hope you still enjoy your life, and hopefully one day you will. And maybe you're just at that point where you're learning about these things, and maybe you'll discover them one day. And we all come from different places and different reasons and different purposes here to discover and find things. And I'm sure there's more to life out there for us to discover, and maybe beyond light, sound and love there is heaven. Maybe that's where we go. We're not meant to find what they are. We're meant to just die and go there, and or live on through and ascend and go into heaven or something in the flesh. Who knows? I could go on more about it, but why worry about it? Just some interesting thought for today. So I hope you enjoyed that, and keep shining. Peace out.